So I arrived in Buenos Aires on September 16th, 2022, and if I feel like it was 3 years ago because I worked so much since then. It has been 3 weeks full of work, and sometimes me and my assistant, well, with my assistant Nicola, we went out of Proa, where we had the first studio, and of our house, our beautiful mansion in La Boca, in Suarez 663, which is very similar to 666, the number of the beast, which is part of the movie NYsferatu. And then we had this beautiful studio inside this mansion. So it was a pleasure to work there and here at Proa21. And so in some way, this city is very similar to New York, where I live actually. But also, in some way, I also felt like I was in Italy again. Everything is so Italian, but also it's so different from Italy. It's also in some way similar to New York. My work changed a lot when I moved to New York around 10 years ago, and I have to say that when I first arrived there, one of the first strong feelings that I had was about the garbage, la basura. Because in New York, I remember that in my first studio in New York, I found all of the furniture that I had in the studio on the streets. And it became more like assemblage. And so I had this idea of this work that surrounds me in this moment, I had this idea of this work that I created here in Proa21 since a few years. And I was waiting for the right place to do it. And maybe New York was a nice place to do it. But then in these years in New York, I did something else, which is NYsferatu. It's a feature film, animated feature film that I did in 2017. It took me 3 years to do it. It's 35,000 drawing. And it's about New York, it's about our society, it's about our time, and it's about what's going on today. So the title is NYsferatu, Symphony of a Century, because it talks about our century, and it's also full of garbage. Actually, in this show, Je le vis, you can also watch the movie because it's strictly related to the artwork here. Well, the movie also talks about garbage, and it finishes. The final image is this Statue of Liberty destroyed amid the garbage. Oh, that's a spoiler, okay. And so I really felt that there was a link between these two works, also because, like NYsferatu, Tristes, presentimientos de lo que ha de acontecer is entirely drawn on many different pieces. So, like in this movie, you have 35 small pieces, small sheets of paper. Here you have 100 pieces, 100 pieces of furniture, and then in the second part of the installation you have thousands of sheets covered with frottage. So, and what connect them all? Drawings. Because drawings is the most powerful tool that we have to understand reality. It's very simple to understand because, I mean, drawing is the first way you express yourself when you're a child, because you don't know how to write, but even writing in some way is drawing. And, but if you think about it, when you have an idea, the first thing that you can do to put the idea on to bring the idea into reality is the pencil. The first tool is the pencil, and very often you draw. So those furniture, they were drawn before being real furniture. So I thought that the drawing was a great connector between things. So thanks to Renzo and Sofia here at Proa21, we were able to find a lot of old furniture in the streets, and I really loved it, even if I have to say most of this furniture smelled like beep. Me and Nicola and we were very, sometimes we were, okay, I have to draw on these things, but okay, let's think about drawings and about art, and not about the fact that it's garbage. And in the end, we were able to create this huge environment in 3 weeks. 3 weeks, yes, actually. And this artwork, this installation, is divided into 2 acts. those actors. The first act is entirely drawn on furniture, and on all of this furniture I drew this huge trash dump full of characters that I usually put in my artworks, and they are characterized by many different objects in the head. Sometimes they are masks, they are taken from all the tradition. Usually I use Italian or European tradition or American tradition if I'm in New York. Here I was in Argentina, so I used traditional masks coming from this place. And they are all very ancient and old. And I use this kind of masks before they show the connection between the past and the present and the future, because my conception of life is a cycle. Life is a cycle, so it always repeats itself. And there are also many other things in this basura, in this trash dump. The Solid of Melancholy by Albrecht Dürer, and you can see that many of the characters are throwing or they are taking things from this garbage dump and putting them in this solid, which is the symbol of melancholy. So the whole work is about melancholy. Even the movie, the NYsferatu, is about melancholy. And the last part of the installation is really melancholic, because it's the first idea that I have for this show, actually. And it's made out of 2,000, I guess, frottage of objects. And it's very easy. You take an object, you cover it with paper, and then you trace it with graphite pencil, and then you take off the object. And what you have the exoskeleton, like the skin of the snake. No, when he changes his skin, you have this skin, so it's something empty. So it's really, it's like this solid of melancholy that you see in the first part of the installation. They are empty. Maybe they were full before, and they need to be full again. Maybe they will stay empty forever. Who knows? So, ¿qué es el tristes presentimientos de ese que lo ha de acontecer? Is this melancholy of something that has to arrive? Is this melancholy of something that we cannot avoid, which is our destiny, actually. So every society will become something just like empty shells, fossils in the future, everything. But I always think that from the extraction there is always a new creation. And actually the new creation in this case, you see, I try to give new life to this garbage or this paper through drawings. And actually I can say that Jolovi is about the capacity that artists have to try to understand. I don't understand anything, I have to say, but we try to understand what's going on in our days, and we are not reporters, but we try to find a connection between things and everything happens, you know. And this connection in this case is given by drawing and by ideas. They call me in some way a multimedia artist, so because I use performance, I was even a heavy metal singer when I was young, so I even like to sing sometimes, and I do sculptures with paper, why not, or with sand, or with sandpaper sometimes, maybe in the future. I do movies and whatever, but at the basis of everything, there is always, in some way, there is always drawing. Even I don't think I'm a very good draughtsman, but I feel that drawing is the basis of everything. And if you, in the show, there is, at the beginning of the show, Jolovi, there is this small piece, it's a blackboard, a small blackboard, and it's carved. So what I did, I just took a cutter and sandpaper, and I carved this image. And in this image, you will see that there are some characters who are trying to defend themselves from this big machine who's trying with water to erase them. And they try to defend themselves with books. They cover themselves with books. Books is the symbol of thoughts. So evil is the absence of thoughts. And also evil is the absence of humanity, actually, because thought is what difference is the difference between animals and humanity. So I put this small blackboard at the beginning because it's I mean, I wanted to introduce the audience into my universe in a very simple way, and this small work is so well connected to all of the other works because there is this assemblage of books, which is a kind of barrier, a defense. They try to defend themselves with these books, and it's very similar both to the assemblage, and all of the books that are in the blackboards are in the trash dump made out of frottage, and many of these books are quoted and referenced to in the movie NYsferatu. So I try to make a very current show. I always try to do this because I put so many things in the show. Sometimes I have horror vacui, but I really feel that they need to have a fil rouge that connects everything, which is also the drawing, but also the ideas. Also the concept is very important in my work, and I want to say just one more thing about NYsferatu. NYsferatu is a very complicated movie because what happened in this movie, I took the NYsferatu movie, the original one from Murnau, shot him in 1922, and I took all of the characters and I moved them to contemporary New York and Syria, and so the movie changed completely its meaning. And what I did, I changed the script, and also I put many references to what's going on today into the background. So when you watch the movie, you have to be very careful what happens with the characters. There is the story, which is the same as the original one, but then there is also the fact that there is another story, which is the Symphony of a Century, in the background. And so you see there are always different layers of meaning in my works, and they are given by the fact that it's drawn. And so when you draw things, you put a lot of time in this, and the time of drawing is different than the time of today's time. It's a very ancient time. It's an old time that gives you the strength to put a lot of things, a lot of meanings in the point of your pencil.